An old fisherman struggles to support a wife and 3 children on the meager yields of the coast. Every morning is a desperate race against his family's hunger. He lives by a rigid, superstitious code. He casts his net exactly 4 times a day before the sun rises. Once the 4th cast is pulled, his workday ends, regardless of what he has caught. His first cast under the moonlight brings a heavy resistance. He pulls with hope, only to haul up the rotting carcass of a donkey. The weight is so great it shreds the mesh of his nets in several places. After frantic repairs, he casts a second time. The net grows heavy again. This time he hauls in a large basket overflowing with gravel and useless rubbish. He washes the mud from his gear and tries a third time. He draws in a collection of sharp stones, empty shells, and thick sludge. With his nets ruined and the sun beginning to rise, he breaks down. He cries out to the shore, asking why fortune continues to trifle with a man who can barely provide bread for his children. He has reached his final cast. This last ritual is the only thing standing between his family and a day of starvation. The code he follows has become a cage, pinning his survival to a single throw of the net. The 4th cast brings up a heavy, yellow copper pot. It is sealed tight with a leaden cover, bearing the distinct impression of a royal seal. The fisherman weighs the jar in his hands. He reasons the metal is valuable. Finding a small treasure could buy a measure of wheat. He pries the lead loose with his knife and tips the jar. At first, nothing. Then a thick smoke pours from the neck, rising toward the clouds and stretching across the shore in a heavy mist. The smoke gathers into a massive form, a genie twice the size of the largest giant. The fisherman stands frozen, his legs refusing to move as he stares up at the terrifying monster he just unleashed. The genie offers no gratitude. Instead, he looks at his savior and delivers a cold ultimatum. The fisherman must choose the manner of his own death. The lucky catch, meant to buy the family's dinner, has instead summoned an executioner. The fisherman's struggle for a livelihood has been replaced by a struggle for his final breath. The genie explains that he was imprisoned in the copper vase as punishment for rebelling against the king of the genii centuries ago, sealed away by an enchantment on the lid. A timeline of his rotting perspective. During the 1st century, he vowed endless riches. In the 2nd century, he promised worldly treasures and a crown. By the 3rd century, his hope turned to predatory rage, swearing to kill whoever released him. The fisherman is the casualty of a cosmic lottery. He is standing before a mind that has rotted in the dark for 300 years, transforming a once generous spirit into something jagged and murderous. Realizing that begging for mercy from an immortal is useless, the fisherman stops crying. He understands that physical strength is not an option against a being of smoke and magic. He adjusts his posture and looks the monster in the eye. He tells the genie that he accepts his fate, but first, he conjures the entity on his honor to answer one simple question about the vessel. The fisherman gestures to the small copper jar and claims he cannot believe the genie was ever inside it. He mocks the idea, stating that even one of the genie's feet wouldn't fit, let alone his entire massive body. The genie's rage is eclipsed by his need to be seen as omnipotent. He cannot allow a mere mortal to doubt the extent of his powers. To prove the fisherman wrong, the genie dissolves his monstrous form into smoke once again. The cloud begins funneling back into the narrow neck of the vase, slowly and evenly, until every trace of the giant has vanished inside. The moment the last of the smoke clears the rim, the fisherman slams the lead seal back into place. Ignoring the genie's renewed promises of wealth, he prepares to cast the jar back into the deep, vowing to build a house on the shore to warn other fishermen of the monster below. A terrifying, destructive force was neutralized not by power, but by a mortal's composure. By refusing to panic, the fisherman found the exact angle to turn the giant's own arrogance into a permanent prison.